Hello, everybody. Welcome to the OCRP iRacing series here tonight at Mid-Ohio. Just wrapping up practice right now, about 20 seconds of that left to go tonight. I'm joined by Mr. CR. Civ Ryan's back in the house. And maybe Joe Cortez, not sure. Oh, he's here. Yeah, he just walked in. So hello to you both. How you doing? Ready for some road course racing?
You betcha. Good to be back, Jeff.
Yeah. And is Cortez good to go?
Yeah, I just literally had to plug in my headset.
Okay, there you go. Fantastic. Well, you're definitely here. Did you know the name of the race tonight is the Keyhole at Mid-Ohio? I don't know what that is or where that came from.
Well, turn 2's called the Keyhole.
Ah, okay. That makes sense now, I suppose.
So I guess that's what they went with.
I guess so. Well, look who it is. It's Brandon Buggs out there on the track for qualifying. Now, he was the winner on Monday nights here at Mid-Ohio, and here we are. We'll see what he ends up getting in the GG Luck car.
He's got the green paint on it tonight. He was running a blue one on Monday, so because it must be because of St. Patty's Day. He's trying to get the luck of the Irish with him.
I mean, aren't we all?
It is the 17th.
Kiss
me, I'm Irish. I'm not, but please kiss me.
I'll kiss you. Is that an open invitation? Because I'm
in. We have 9 minutes of this, and then 5 minutes after this will be the drivers' meeting, and then we will grid up and go racing here at Mid-Ohio. So we're turning right today, not just turning left. Now, earlier, I was watching in practice. The 81 of Brandon Buggs was the fastest car for a long time. And then the 80 of Osborne, last week's winner, got to the track and put down a time. Now, the difference there was just marginal, maybe by a couple tenths. Actually, hundredths, I think, is what it was down to. Watching the 81 get around here, and this is what it's like to be on board with him. You see what kind of RPM he's turning here, all the way down the big, long stretch here up the third gear. Not into fourth. Now, Ryan, you drove this on Monday night, so give us some insight on this track.
You betcha. We hated this track when we first got on it. Everyone kind of purchased it 10 minutes before the race started, and we all kind of hated it, but then we fell into the groove. Throttle management and brake management is key. You can't. The margin for error on this course is very, very high. If you miss your braking point and brake too late, you'll go off. If you try to compensate and brake too hard, the car will spin. If you put too much gas on, car will spin. So a lot of rolling on the throttle out of corners. So you can see Buggs here. He's going to be braking super early as he heads into the keyhole here. He's going to be going down all the way down to second. Or this isn't the keyhole. Sorry, this is
you got sideways there, but and you said that was
really
under braking.
Careful. And there's lots of elevation change, Jeff. So that can get the car a little loose going up and down all these hills here, especially through these S's. But it's it's not an easy track. It is not an easy track, but you can find your groove in it for sure. And Buggs did win on Monday night. He had a great battle with Ryan Steinhoff there on Monday night. So Buggs had a really good showing. He actually crashed, but he was able to come back. And he just had better pace overall. But we got all the drivers out tonight, so we'll see what happens.
Jeff, this is arguably going to be their most difficult challenge to date. Opened in 1962, this FIA Grade 2 has 13 turns around the track. It is host to IndyCar Series, IMSA Sports Car Championships. The Mid-Ohio Truck Series is going to come here this year. This is really arguably going to be their hardest challenge to date. And whoever's going to be able to run this race successfully is going to need to figure out how to manage their car, how to successfully navigate all 13 turns. And when it comes to the keyhole coming out to the S's, that is going to be where they're really going to find their challenge.
Wes Graham right now is still making another lap as well, but Osborne to the top of the pole right now, beating Rucci there to the line there, and Macedo outdoing the 81 of Brandon Buggs. But there's Steinhoff. You talked about that on Monday, how Steinhoff and Buggs were ones to watch there, and Buggs ultimately winning that race. So very interesting to see them both qualifying right next to each other.
and qualifying is super important on this track. It's almost like qualifying F1 in oh my god, Monte Carlo, Monaco. Basically it's really hard to pass on this track. Like Bugs was stuck behind Steinhoff for a good, I don't know, 14 laps before you can even try to pass. Like there's just no room to pass. So qualifying is massive here. You're basically just hoping the guy in front of you makes a mistake, which can happen. But yeah, qualifying is everything.
You bring up a good point, Ryan. There's really only a handful of places you can pass on this track. Look for passes to come out of turns 12 and 13 into the in and out of the carousel across the start finish line. Look for passes to happen between turns 1 and 2 along both sides of the keyhole, and then the track really gets narrow around turn number 4, around China Beach and through the S's, and then again, turns 9 through 11, Thunder Valley is where it is all technical driving. Everything from turn 4 to 11 is very technical driving, very careful driving. And, you know, you have to really be careful on where you decide to make a pass. If you try to challenge it in the very narrow areas of the S's, Thunder Valley, it's not going to end well for you. And I think some guys are going to learn that the hard way tonight.
Well, we saw the 28 of Rucci out there putting his lap down as well, and still just going to maintain that second position. But we have to talk about what drop weeks are. We kind of went over it the last couple of races, but looking now, Rucci has not made 2 races, so he's used all his drop weeks up. I think there's only 2 they give you in this league. But if we did away with those, it would be such a close points battle right now. Leonard Fodorero would be leading that if that was the case. So we're not going to do the regular season thing that you see in the real world, since we have these drop week things, unfortunately. So I'm not going to talk about points because it doesn't really matter right now. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be really tough to beat Rucci.
Well, they call him the Rucci bot for a reason, guys.
That's true. We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left of qualifying session. Well, they're in their driver's meeting right now. None of these laps right now are counting or anything like that. So if you were wondering, that is what's going on here. If you're just joining us, I know a lot of people watching live on twitch.tv/jfavignano and also over on Favignano Live as well. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well. And thanks for tuning in once again. Let's hear it. What's your picks tonight? Who do you think's going to get the win here at Mid-Ohio? Now, you know, we know Bugs won on Monday. We know Steinhoff was fast. Graham not too slow behind those guys. But I think Osborne and Rucci are really going to mix it up. But the underdog tonight will be Dylan Macedo, if you ask me.
I think Osborne's got a good shot at this. This is a track where you got to use a lot of endurance racing skills of just staying focused, trying to minimize all the mistakes you can. I think Osborne's got a good shot at it. Osborne's my pick for the win.
Chat is favoring Bay Area Bugs all the way, as they tend to do. Personally, my money is on the driver, the number 88 machine, Wes Graham. He's a very experienced driver. He loves road courses, and I think he's going to he'll perform very strong here tonight. But Osborne and Rucci on the front row is going to make for a very dangerous combination that everyone's going to be fighting around all night long.
All right, let's get that starting grid going. We have a lot of time here to get around here. But we can talk and see if any drivers want to talk to us if we have time for that. But row 1 on the pole tonight, Brandon Osborne and Matt Rucci there in the outside row. And I'll let Ryan, you can do row 2, and then we'll go.
Okay,
we'll take turns. No, it's all right.
Yeah, row 2, we got Dylan Macedo and Bay Area Bugs.
On the inside of row number 3, the 59 of Ryan Steinhoff starts position number 5, and outside of him, the 88 Wes Graham.
In row number 4, there's that flow. Joel Brown in that 43 car. On the outside of him, Nick Sargent.
Those guys were fast on Monday. Look out for them. Robert Keller starts in row 5. Beside him is going to be Kyle Cleveland in the 11 car.
Robert Webb starts in position number 11 in the 91 Toyota Supra. Outside of him, the Chevy Camaro, the 86 of Jason Lance.
Has a new paint scheme this time around, the Snap-on Racing instead of the Icy Bear. We don't see him anymore. Row 7, Alex Reno in that 22 Union Pacific Ford Mustang. And On the outside of him, the rookie, Austin Johnston.
Row 8.
That was it.
Going to be, we got Tyler Thomas and James Hilton, row 8.
Yeah, it should be. I don't know what happened there.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's not picking them up. I don't know. Maybe they didn't take time. I don't think they qualified. I think that's the reason why.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. That's probably more than likely the issue, but we are finally rolling. It's going to be interesting.
This is going to be a quick start, by the way. This start caught me off guard. They're rounding the final bend here, and it's going to go green.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So you got the call there, Jeff.
All right. We are definitely ready to go racing. Once again, the OCRP iRacing series. Yep, you weren't lying. Here we go. The 80 control car of Brandon Osborne. We are green flag racing here at Mid-Ohio.
Into turn 1 now, they go around straight to the keyhole, and it looks like it's going to continue to be Osborne on the lead, but now watch out, the Rucci bot behind him, and Bay Area Bugs making a good run into the keyhole.
This is a very sketchy situation coming into the keyhole, people making sure they hit their breaking points. So far, so good. Everyone cleanly through, and we're off to the races, boys.
Yeah, side by side right back here. This is the 88 of Wes Graham and Dylan Macedo, that underdog we were talking about. But look at Graham not taking any time at all here. He knows how important that track position is going to be today.
But the question is, as they go through the S's now, after going past China Beach and now into the S's, the question is, where are they going to start making the pass? This is where the course gets narrow. This is where these guys have a lot of difficulty making those moves. So now do you start trying to force the issue, or do you wait? Do you wait out your turn and try to make the move outside the carousel?
Ooh, Bugs getting sideways right back there. That was, he was really trying to get into the brakes there and almost lost it completely into the grass there, racing for that position with Rucci there, but he will gather that back up and be okay. But look at this right now. Ryan Steinhoff on the move. He's almost to Wes Graham.
Yeah, the car gets super floaty coming over the hill into Thunder Valley there. You gotta be so careful on the throttle. Like you gotta roll on it so slowly. But good catch there by Bugs as we're riding on board here with the 59 car Ryan Steinhoff as we head down this straight towards the keyhole.
And this is where it gets hairy right here. This is where it gets really curious. How do they manage the keyhole? Where do they hit their braking spot? And do you try to make a run outside of that going into that super stretch where turn 3 is? So far, so good. 1 lap run, no yellow flags as Ace Pool Repair continues to run in position number 6. Osborne still in the lead with Rucci right behind.
Here's Joel Brown making a move back here. That's going to be trying to get an not enough break there to outbrake Nick Sargent there in front of him. But watching Joel Brown, Joel Brown's got some speed going in there. And then behind him, Kyle Cleveland in that 11 car, in that Pop Secret car. A lot of guys being a little lazy on their paint schemes and still running the ones from Iowa. It happens.
Those two, Sargent and Brown, were together all night on Monday night, so they're very familiar around each other, and they were battling all 40 laps on Monday. So expect to see some fireworks out of those guys,
or popcorn, if you will.
Yeah,
a lot of it. Yeah, you can just how slow they get in this section right here, riding on board with Brandon Bugs, and he's trying to do everything he can here. He was extremely fast in practice. And I think that it's going to come down to, tires versus, these three. I think these top 3 are going to be fun to watch regardless. But right now, you can see Bugs is not messing around. He is not taking it easy on that car at all.
Yeah, this is likely going to be a one-stop race as well, Jeff. They can make it to, I believe, 25 laps. I want to say it could be tight, but don't. It changes because we did 40 laps on Monday, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a one-stop race. But don't quote me on that. We'll see what happens.
But again, cautions breed cautions. All you need is 1 caution flag to come out as we ride on the back bumper of Macedo, the 25 machine. All you need is 1 caution flag to come out, and then next thing you know, it complicates everything. We saw it last week at Iowa, where that very last caution flag ended up giving us 2 overtime finishes and completely changed the complexion of the race for everybody involved. So just wait to see what happens. Let's not call pit stops so early. That's like counting your chickens before they hatch.
Well, I don't believe we're going to see any cautions flying because it's, iRacing rules, and at the road courses, we're not going to see a full course caution. I think it's just going to be the local cautions, unfortunately. I wish they did. Somebody goes spinning or whatever and you get a full course caution, that would change it up, but I don't know if we're going to see that tonight. But Ryan, you said on Monday that wasn't the case?
No, you're right, Jeff. It was just localized cautions. Guys would spin out and you'd get a yellow flag in certain areas of cars off the track, but safety car was never deployed or anything like that. There was no full course caution.
So pretty much
I imagine
what you got is what you got for the race?
What you got is what you got. Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, what's the fun in that?
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree with that. We don't make the calls. Well, we make the calls up here, but we don't make the calls. You know what I mean?
Hang on while I get on the phone with iRacing.
Yeah. The other little wrench, as we're just sitting on board watching these guys, that we got to pay attention to is there's the 10X rule, 10 incident points. And I fell victim to that because I was trying to avoid wrecks and going off track. And if you get 10 incident points, no matter what happens, if it's another guy bumping into you or if you go off track, you have to serve a drive-through penalty. So we should be paying attention to the incident points and seeing who's got what, because if it gets close to 10, it could ruin somebody's race.
A lot of good racing back here. A lot of two guys just kind of racing each other, as we've talked about in the past. At a road course, you're racing the track more than other drivers, but not in the case of some of these guys back here. They're all racing each other.
No one expects them to continue to race each other as you see one of those cars get squirrely back there. Not sure who that was. Let's ride aboard the number 4 machine of Keller, currently running in position number 9. And you see behind him, that's Webb getting sideways for the second time on the track. These guys, you're absolutely right. They are fighting the track just as much as they're fighting each other. And what makes it even harder is that, when you have traffic around you, that adds another level of anxiety. That adds another level of concentration. And it's very easy to get mentally fatigued on these tracks. And if you end up getting mentally fatigued, if you end up losing that focus, it could mean the difference between having a good run and running in the back and race the night.
Just looking at the timing screen now, Osborne is very quick, you guys. He's already pulled a 3-second gap on Matt Rucci, and his lap times are insane. He's running 129s with 5 laps on the tires. He's on a tear right now. Now the question is he going to run out of tires too soon? Because the guys from 2nd to 5th, I imagine, are playing the long game. I think they're holding back a bit.
I was just going to ask you about that because you raced this particular car and track combo on Monday. When will we start to see that tire fall off?
You'll definitely start to see it around lap 10. That's when it goes from I can manage this to white knuckle driving, because these things are getting really, really loss of grip.
Now, obviously, and I'm going to ask you this as well, Ryan. Obviously, these guys are going to want to do everything they can to bisect this race, right? They're going to do everything they can to try to make it to lap 25 and pit around that window, lap 25 to 28. When is the absolute earliest you would feel comfortable taking tires?
I mean, guys were pitting at lap 20 on Monday. Mind you, we were doing 40 laps, so it was just kind of strategy of just splitting the race up. But I would love to take tires on lap 10 to get fresh ones, but you got to make them last. I tried to make mine last a bit, but your lap time suffers, so it's a bit of a chess game. Do I stretch the tires and just try and keep position, but then I might lose time on my laps, so it's a bit of a judgment call, and there's going to be some strategy here.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of strung out right now. I'm looking for any kind of racing that we might be missing out on, but for the most part, everybody's just kind of in a train here. Although right around here, around the 13th position and 12th, everybody, from Bearder on back. So if you got Keller all the way back to the 89 there of Hilton, that seems to be the biggest race right now on the track.
And I gotta say, there's been no incident points. Everyone has kept it on the track, kept it out of the cabbage, which is quite impressive, actually. The fact that these guys have all been able to do that. So I think those Monday night practice races have done wonders for these guys driving. And you see the benefits out here on Thursday.
And absolutely it does. It gets them familiar with the track. It gets them familiar with driving around one another. It gives you a little bit more comfort being around the track and being around the other drivers. So really, again, this is just as much a mental game as it is a physical game or a timing game as well. And you're seeing this guy's comfort on the track right now. You're starting to see him, get spread out, with Osborne now having 3.3 and a quarter over Rucci and almost 5 seconds over Bay Area Bugs. Lots of driving left to do here. Let's see what happens though once they hit that magic lap 10 number, and let's see if that changes anything in the perspective of these drivers.
Just as we were talking about that, Robert Webb there, Jeff, I don't know if you saw that, he dropped 4 positions. He had a spin out on the track in that 91 car.
Oh, yeah, he's got damage on the car too. It looks like right there on the nose, unfortunately.
Yeah, only lost 4 spots, and he got the car going straight again, but he did have a spin.
Yeah, started 11th, and it could have been way worse.
Yep.
But the copper top keeps going on. Still a lot of power to that Toyota Supra, the Duracell Toyota Supra here tonight. The good news is they still have that one quick repair available to them. They don't want to burn it too early, obviously, but when they do come in around 25, I would expect a lot of people are going to go ahead and take that quick repair just so they have a fresh car for the second half of the race.
Yeah, depending if they're going to use it or not, or if they're going to get into any trouble, that's for certain.
There was a nice battle brewing between Hilton and Lance over at 10th and 11th place. They got pretty close, but we might not need to go there because Bugs and Steinhoff are getting pretty close here. Steinhoff takes some ground on him.
Yeah, that's Macedo there. That's
excuse me.
Yeah, they've been battling pretty good there. That was my favorite battle that I was watching right there. Between times,
I see purple and green. And I think it's Steinhoff.
I know, yeah, that's easy to do. And then right there, yeah, his last was you got Brandon Buggs with a 132.37, and then Macedo with a 281. Like they're right next to each other. And up front, Brandon Osborne still putting down. Well, actually, the fastest car on the track right now is Matt Rucci by quite a little bit. Actually, I think he might have been saving a little bit more because he said right around lap 10 we're gonna see that fall off on the tires and. Maybe that'll do it.
Maybe not, as you see the 28 get a little squirrely going around the turns there into the S as he goes all the way over to Thunder Road. The 28 belonging to Rucci in the Badger Racing machine. That Chevrolet is hot right now, but he's still got a lot of time to pick up on Osborne. 4.3 seconds and counting is the gap between those two.
Yeah. Osborne kind of running away with this one for now, but man, it's I can't tell you, like the smallest mistake can just ruin your race. If he gets on the throttle too much, like these cars are so sensitive on this track, like they're not meant for this track. So it's a battle royale out there of just who can be the one to not make a mistake. So Osborne, like I said, he's got a ton of endurance racing experience. He knows how to basically just get in the zone, and that's what you're seeing here. He has found his groove and he's working it, but things can change in an instant.
Yeah, and when we get to the point where everybody needs to come down pit road, that's where you have to be absolutely perfect. You can't make a mistake, and you can lose and gain so much on pit road, and that's really what this entire race is going to be decided on, is who does it better than the other.
Well, not only that, but who can keep it clean? As you see Osborne there getting around somebody who's into the jazz cabbage down there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who that was.
I didn't see the number on that car, so we'll have to come back and figure out who that was. But, it's not only that. It's, who can keep it cleanest, who can keep it moving in the right direction as they go around the carousel to start lap number 10. We're following along again with a 25 Macedo all over the back bumper of the 81 of Bay Area Brandon Buggs in that Lucky Charms machine. I think he's going to need all the luck he can get if he wants to start moving up the track tonight. He's already in third, but he's got a lot of time to pick up. Now, what I was going to say, though, is, speaking of keeping it clean, you mentioned, Jeff, about who needs the quick repair, it doesn't take much to get these composite body cars off kilter. All you gotta do is hit into the cabbage once. All you gotta do is head into that sand, and all of a sudden, you know, your front end, your nose, your front splitter is damaged, and that does affect your aerodynamics. Now, you'd think aero doesn't make a big difference on this track, but it can. If you mess it up, it acts less like a streamlined tunnel and more like a big old anchor holding you back. So I've got a feeling, you know, we will see quick repairs throughout, or when at the stop, and when we go to pit stops, it's just a matter of who and where.
Absolutely. And one driver actually I kind of want to talk about, I know this is cliche, but a lot of viewers they apparently like them, is I want to talk about Bugs a little bit. So we saw Bugs kind of not participate in a few races there. He was in a bit of a rut, had a really rocky start to the season, just wasn't enjoying it, getting frustrated. But he has come back out in recent weeks here, and he's done a remarkable job. And I think he's going to be actually very happy where he is right now, to be up there with the likes of Macedo, Ricci, and Osborne, 4 very fast guys. But he kind of switched his mentality to, you know, getting frustrated, being serious, to this is pixel racing. Like, I just want to have some fun, no pressure. If I lose, I lose. I just want to have fun, and it's done wonders for his performance. It's kind of just switched the mental game up a bit for him, and shout out to him for coming back and powering through the you know, the hills and valleys of that is racing.
I've never once heard anybody in chat mention his name.
No, nobody knows him. He's pretty newcomer.
He's going to have his hands full with the 80 car if he does get up there eventually. Now, on Monday night, I didn't get to catch that particular race. How did things play out on pit road?
So Bugs, unfortunately, he wrecked a little bit early before all the scheduled pit stops. So he had an early pit. It was almost like an F1 undercut strategy unintentionally. And that's what I told him. I was in a call with him. I said, you got good pace, man. Just like, you're basically doing an undercut now, whether you like it or not. So he was able to get out ahead of Steinhoff, who he was behind, into P1, just based on his pace when Steinhoff went in, and they came out of when Steinhoff came out of pits. Bugs had position hit there by like a couple seconds. It was actually pretty cool to watch. So yeah, pit road it was like anything. It's a really tricky pit road to get in, but as long as you hit your pit stops, you know, business as usual.
And with iRacing, you've got to be in that box perfect, and the person that gets in there the most perfect is the one that gets the perfect or gets the fastest time.
There's a punchline there, but I'm going to walk away from it.
Yeah, probably should.
In any event, let's go back down the rest of the field as we run lap 12 of 50. Osborne continues to lead, and he's got now 5 seconds over Rucci. Bay Area Bugs in third, 6 seconds behind Macedo, as it remains in fourth, 2 seconds over West the Mess, Wes Graham. Steinhoff in sixth, Brown in seventh, Sargent, Keller, and Lance round out your top 5. And guys, these laps are getting further and further apart. These drivers are getting further and further apart. 35 seconds from number 1 to position number 10. There's a lot of ground these guys got to make up, and I think pit stops cannot come early enough for the guys in back. Now, another question, and this is to both of you: at what point do you decide, hey, maybe short pitting is the way to go? If I know I've got the fuel run, maybe when do I decide maybe I should think about short pitting and trying to cut everybody off at the nose?
I think that's smart, especially, you know, you're running 10th, 9th, 8th, like right in there. That's going to be a perfect time for you to try something different. You don't have the speed, so maybe get them on strategy and hope they mess up on pit road. But you can see that all the way up there by, you know, Bugs and Macedo as well. They might do something like that.
Yeah, if this truly is a one-stop race, I think short pitting might be actually a little aggressive, because you're gonna have to run your tires past 25 laps, and on lap 24, like your tires are screaming. They want to be changed. You are like, I was the most squirrely I've ever been in iRacing on lap 24 tires. So to undercut and then stretch your tires out at the end is a ballsy thing to do, but who knows? You never know. And that's, again, this is assuming that this is a one-stop race. I should have done my research beforehand to see if I think they're good on fuel. So we'll see what happens.
As with many things in racing, it will come down to tires. This track is notoriously hard on these tires because, again, you're making 13 different turns across a bunch of different as we see a change in position number 2. Bugs makes the move on the inside, and now it's a race into the turn. Bugs got it. He is going to score him position number 2.
What happened to Rucci there?
Rucci just had a mistake getting into the corner, riding on the back bumper with him there, and Brandon was able to just get in the brakes there pretty decently and outbroke him into the corner. That's not the right word, right, broke? But he had outbraking. He outbraked him. There we go. I found it.
That's an incredible pass there. And like I was saying, it just takes one mistake for the guy in front of you to make, and then you have that opportunity, and Bugs seized it. And one thing that we saw out of Bugs on Monday was he is an absolute weapon in the corners. He shows a lot of pace over some of the guys in the corners, so that's where he excels at. But wow, Bugs up to second place, Rucci in third, and Macedo right behind him in fourth place. So we got a nice battle brewing here, boys.
Maybe that using the trail braking's been working really well. I mean, I know he's been practicing at it and getting better and better at it, and it clearly shows. He's got more speed in the corners. A lot of times it sounds weird for people that don't watch a lot of racing, but slower is actually faster. If you can get into the corner and apex it quicker, you're not pushing the car out too wide and you're not tearing your stuff up doing it and sliding around. But yeah, that's probably where he's getting a lot of his speed is by that trail braking.
And it's working for him too, because now you see him getting a run now on Rucci. He's already put about a second between him, and now Macedo is in the mix as well. He's starting to get on the back bumper of the Rucci bot. Maybe there was I don't know, maybe there's like a firmware issue. Maybe those updates didn't go as well as expected, but the Rucci bot now under fire.
Yeah, something happened there. I think and when you get squirrely, I think you can see how squirrely he's getting out of that corner there. He was a little too hard on the throttle. And look at this, Macedo onto the inside. What a pass by Macedo. But Rucci gets it right back because he came in too hot. Wow, back and forth here on turn 1, headed down the straight towards the keyhole. Man, it's so sketchy out there. And he thought he had a safe pass, but then he realized, oh shoot, I have to brake as well.
Yeah, he blew by him so fast. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened.
You think that first left-hander coming through the front straight there, you think that's a fast corner? You're down to second in that corner. Because it's just so sketchy.
Yeah, I think maybe it just comes down to comfortability there in the 28. I think maybe he's just not having fun with the car now that those tires are starting to fall off. And, you know, whenever you're driving this, and you know because you've done it, especially on Monday you just did it, but when you start to slip a few times and you're making big saves, it really does dampen your confidence.
Yeah, exactly. Like as soon as you get a little sketchy, it's a butt pucker moment, and what you thought you had control of the car, you realize, oh no. The other thing is, if you lock up your brakes, you can get some flat spot on your tires, and then you like the next 3 corners, you're just holding on for dear life because it's ice racing, and that's, I think, is what's happening to Matt Rucci right now. Both confidence and just he might have flat spotted his tires there.
You know, and that's the mental game I was talking about, guys. That's the competition against yourself that I was talking about. Once that car gets squirrely, once you lose confidence in that car, you're going to start driving it a lot more conservatively. You're not going to be challenging the corners as hard as you were, and that opens a door for all the guys behind you that want to get that position and want to take it away. We've run 16 laps, we're starting 16 laps now on these tires. The track is turning into ice. These guys are effectively now ice skating with these giant machines out there. Now, if I'm up front, if I'm a Rucci, if I'm Macedo, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe it's time to just think about short pitting.
Man, I saw Wes there having a big moment. He was he had his car all sorts of sideways and missed the corner, went way wide there and lost a lot of time. So that's the reason why he fell back off the bumper there of Macedo. So yeah, it's even the best, can make mistakes, and we're seeing it happen.
Yeah, you have to be so gentle rolling on the throttle out of these corners and the brakes too. Like, you're almost pumping the brakes as well, like trying just to ride that edge between braking and spinning out. But yeah, you're back to what Joe is saying. When you have those moments, you go from attack to, oh, I just gotta survive to the pits. Like, I just gotta get this car around. And I think that's what a lot of guys are shifting their mind to, of just, okay, I just gotta not screw up and lose my spot right now, because we're coming up to a pit window shortly, and I wanna just get to those fresh tires, man. I wanna get to the salvation of pit stop land.
Pit window should open in about 3 laps, give or take. And to be honest with you, I think this is really going to be an opportunity for some of these guys to get at it and see what they can't make happen. See if they can get smart about figuring out how to work these cars on those older tires. Because again, if you're going to short pit, you have to have confidence in the car. You have to have confidence in the older tires, and you have to have confidence in every part of this track. The minute you lose it, the minute you start going backwards and start letting the rest of the field catch up to you.
You need to see how surgical the 80 car is. I'm not seeing any mistakes out of him. He drives this course so smooth. There's a reason why he's got an 8-second lead right now.
This is a guy that knows how to drive on crap tires. And just to put your chat here and people watching, to put in perspective how much tires are affecting their pace here. They were qualifying with like 129s, 128s. They're now down to 131, 132 for their lap time. So they're losing about 3 to 4 seconds now. That just shows you how much drop off there is on these tires.
And tires are the name of the game at this track. It is very much a course that punishes you if you do not manage the tires correctly. This track it's a very long track to get around. It's not an easy drive that you see in the ovals. It is a 2.25 mile course, 13 turns all the way around. And as you see on that asphalt out there, it will chew up your tires and spit them out all the way through. So tire management is critical. And if you're right now Osborne, if you're Bugs, if you're Rucci, if you're not under fire right now, the best thing you can do is simply slowly manage those tires, slowly work them through, and hope that you don't burn off too much of that rubber before you get back to pit road.
Now, Jeff, question for you. I know you've raced stock cars on road courses before. How do you like them? How do you like this format and taking these cars out to courses like this?
I love it. There's something about you and the car and the track. I mean, yeah, you do have to race other guys, but not as much as you do the actual track. And you fall into just that changing gear, because these guys, a lot of guys are running H pattern shifters, and that's just so different than like a sequential. But like you just get used to like rev matching, and it's a lot of fun. You feel like you're actually like driving. I don't know. It's like more of a driving experience than it is like racing a couple inches off each other in an oval.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
And to give you just some, and again, just to give you some perspective on how much a tire wear does affect it, Ryan, you illustrated that very well. The record here in a NASCAR Xfinity car is about 127 flat. So as you see these guys lose 4 or 5 seconds off the car, that's not that the car is losing value, then that the car is wearing out. That is simply the fact that those tires are not as grippy as they once were. And again, imagine driving your car on ice. Ryan, I know you've done this plenty of times. When it hits ice, you almost feel like you have no control, and you're along for the ride. That's what these guys are trying to avoid lap after lap.
Oh, that's when you just got to hit the e-brake bod and then just power out and get a nice drift going through the corners.
Is that how you do it?
Absolutely.
I've been doing it wrong all this time.
Yeah.
We're watching the 81 here of Brandon Bugs. He's trying to manage lap traffic. That is the 89 of Hilton there. I'm not sure if Hilton came down on pit road, but I'm assuming he probably short pitted here, but I would imagine he would have a lot more speed if that were the case. Hard to say right now. I'm going to have to look.
Bug's dealing with some traffic here as he passes. I believe that's James Hilton, I want to say. He gets out of the way. Lap traffic doing a nice job getting out of the way of the leading cars here. We saw that on Monday night, and these guys are doing good as they get shown the blue flag. But I don't see anyone in pits just yet. Everyone's staying out there. It looks like they're going to stretch out their tires as long as they can.
If I am if I'm talking to my spotter right now, I'm getting in their ear and saying, let me know when Osborne comes down pit road. Let me know when Osborne makes a signal that he wants to come down. Because if I'm driving right now, I'm going to do one of two things. Either one, I'm going to come down exactly when Osborne and Bugs decide to come down, or two, I'm going to try to see, I'm going to feel out the car and ask myself, can I wait a couple more laps and try to get some time off those two and try to fight my way back into this race? It's a very binary decision, but it really all stems on what the leader is going to do.
Yeah, they're going to hear that familiar iRacing spotter in Australia, and the leader's pitting now. They're all waiting for that so they can go, oh, me next, please.
And I believe right there's Bugs right there coming through the last section of the track there. They're going to have another car they're going to have to deal with here very shortly, and that looks like it's going to be Austin Johnston in the 21 in 16th place right now.
Johnson already being scored 2 laps down. Other cars a lap down are the 89 of Hilton, the 22 of Reno, and the 8 of Thomas. Now, again, because we're not going to have full course cautions, there's going to be no lucky dog. So if you're Reno, Hilton, Thomas, you're hoping for a major mess up front so you can hopefully get back on the lead lap and start fighting.
I do have to say that there are 2 cars that did retire, and that was the 91 of Robert Webb. We saw him have that damage on the car. Looks like he parked it, and Zachary Guzman, they're both off the track.
Just saw Kyle Cleveland went off the track there a little bit, but he's back moving forward. I'm still seeing no incident points. Are you guys seeing that as well?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any incidents by anyone, which is kind of crazy because you would imagine if they went off the track, it would count, but...
Yeah, might not be updating on our end.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Also just went off track too.
Plus, here's something to consider, guys. If you go off track and you just lose control, but you don't hit anything, it's possible to get a 0-point penalty. It's possible just to get like a warning penalty and 0 points added to your score there. So they may be benefiting a little bit from that if they're able to keep control and slowly get it back on track.
That's true. But yeah, because the incident point would probably come from the actual contact of hitting the wall or another car or something, and
or
not
spinning
off
out
track.
and controlling.
Although I thought that the way they do incident points is off track as well.
Yeah,
should be. That's why I don't think we're getting the correct data.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the 80 car to come down pit road. I mean, this is going to be the biggest drama of the race. As I think he's going to get it right to the middle of the road, probably 25, lap 25, maybe even later. If you're the 80 car, why not? I mean, you've already got time, but look at this. I don't know if you've been noticing, Bugs has already gained a couple seconds on the 80 car. I noticed that earlier after he passed Rucci. I was going to give accolades and say, hey, he's already gained 2 more seconds past him. But look, he is starting to close that gap. So now the 80 car is definitely feeling those tires.
Jeff, there's a battle brewing between Macedo and Rucci right now. Macedo was looking for the pass there. I'm backed out. As we go on board with him, he was side by side as they went down to the keyhole. So Macedo is looking to pounce here on Matt Rucci, on Rucci bot.
Yeah, Rucci having it's not normal of him, but he's definitely has his hands full. I mean, he was putting on some fast laps, especially in qualifying. But yeah, I mean, on these older tires, he's just not managing them as much as the others.
He might have also been way too aggressive at the beginning of the race. He may have started out way too hot, and as a result, those rubbers underneath him might be burned out just a little more than everybody else. And if that is the case, then yeah, he's driving it like a teacup right now, because the last thing he wants to do is go off track, spin out, lose even more position than he would by just letting Macedo around.
Yeah, you saw there just how much ground Macedo was able to make up by late braking there. As he sticks right with him, and I think he's just trying to put his car right in Rucci's mirror put the pressure on a bit, try and force a mistake. That's all you can really do.
Ooh, yeah, and he
Look
just
how
did right
loose
there.
Rucci gets there.
Yeah, Rucci got loose getting into the corner there, and it might have been under braking.
I think he just got caught doing a little rear view mirror driving and going down the stretch. He's going to try to keep that position, goes hard around turn number 3. Side by side, they return. But as they approach China Beach, something's going to have to give.
Yeah, Macedo definitely backed out there, but look how squirrely Rucci's getting in front of him. He knows Macedo's playing this really smart, you guys. He could have easily dive bombed him into that hard corner there, but look at this, passes right now. Macedo's so loose. Will he clear him? He clears him.
Yeah, he cleared him.
Great pass.
That's how you do it, but man, it just goes to show how difficult it is right now for that 28 to keep it on the track on older tires. He was just, even at slow speeds like that, he just has no grip.
Now Wes Graham is closing the gap there on Rucci, and he's going to be looking to do the same thing. I think Rucci is just a little shaken. This is very uncharacteristic for Rucci, but he's wheeling the hell out of that car right now, and he's doing a great job just keeping it on track and keeping it going forward.
It sounds like it sounds like we're being harsh about this, but we're not, because, Rucci's already taken his couple drop weeks. He's got to perform now over the others, but we know Leonard Foderero's not here tonight, so he's not going to be using he's going to be using one of his. So points racing, the 28 still needs to have it.
Yeah, when I say it's uncharacteristic of him, is because Rucci is pretty much, you don't see many mistakes out of Rucci. These guys infallible most of the time. Like, he's perfection. So what we're seeing right now is just it's kind of crazy. But I say that with all the compliments in the world, because he's an incredible driver.
The firmware must not have updated correctly. Either that, or you burned out those tires way too soon, way too fast, trying to be aggressive, and now he's going in the wrong direction. He is sliding backwards through this field, trying to catch up, trying to drive it uphill on ice, but just not going to happen. Let's run on the back bumper here to see just how close the 88 of Wes Graham is starting to get out there in that faux Texaco scheme he's running on the track. Able to get away on those longer stretches, but when it comes to those turns, when it comes to China Beach and the S's, he definitely loses time, and that's where Wes the Mess could absolutely strike.
Yeah, we're seeing him do exactly that right now, and it looks like Wes is dealing with the same problem as the 28. I think that he used up a lot of that tire, and it's just hard to put the power down.
You see one car exiting pits now. This is a lapped car. But look at Wes trying on the inside here as the drag race down to the keyhole. Does he have enough to clear him? It's going to be close. Oh boy, it's getting sketchy.
Ooh, it got sketchy there. Yep. That was Robert Kellett there, and you saw the smoke come out of the front there as he locked him up.
That was a tight butthole moment there, boys. Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Wes Graham and Robert Kellett there, good friends. They play a lot of different games together and race together. A lot of respect there, and you can see the four did not want to hold him up.
No, I think Bearder was like, "Oh God, I'm coming out of the pits in front of these guys." He's just trying to keep pace and stay out of the way. He did a good job there, but what a pass by Wes Graham!
Well done.
And to keep the car under control, given all that was going on there. So mad props to Wes for making that pass safely.
Cross flags this time by when Osborne comes to the start-finish line, followed by Bay Area Bugs, Macedo, Graham, and Rucci, your top 5. And so far, Osborne has not thrown the hand out the window. He has not signified at all that he's ready to come down pit road. And that's bad news for everybody else, because the longer he goes, the longer he's going to make everybody else go as well.
And let's just watch the 80 and see how he's managing these corners compared to the other guys. It doesn't look like he's able to get the car all the way down on those candy stripes, but he's definitely managing the cars quite well, and he's actually gaining speed now on the 81.
I can't believe he's running 131s on 26 lap tires. Like, that's insane. I was running like 133s, and most of the other guys are running 133 or 134s in the rest of the field. So like, he is just he's got this car dialed in. He knows how to drive on these tires.
We're going to take you through the field here for the top 10 right now. There's Brandon Osborne. That's where he's at. And then behind him, Brandon Buggs, starting fourth up to second. Made that awesome pass there we saw earlier on Rucci. And has been closing that gap on the 80, but it's been pretty tough for him to do so. Behind him, the 25 of Macedo started third, and he's in third right now, so can't complain there. We saw some great racing out of that driver. Behind him, Wes Graham, starting sixth, and he's up to fourth right now. And who would have thought that Matt Rucci, starting second and having all that speed, is now struggling with that car back in fifth. Behind him, Ryan Steinhoff. Don't count him out yet. He's waiting for somebody else to make a mistake so he can capitalize on it for sure. And behind him, Nick Sargent, starting eighth and right now in seventh. So he's gained one position so far. And Joel Brown in the 43. He's got those golden locks of flow in there in that Coors Ford Mustang. And behind him is Jason Lance, not with the icy, no bear on that car today, but it's probably a bear to drive. In the Snap-on Racing Camaro. And then behind him is Kyle Cleveland in the Pop Secret 11 car, rounding out the top 10 after starting 10th.
That Pop Secret car is a very good-looking car.
I have to agree. I do.
Meanwhile, back up front, Osborne in the Mahindra Tractors Ford Mustang showing no signs of weakness, no signs of stopping. He is just putting on a clinic for driving road courses here at Mid-Ohio Speedway. 10 seconds over Bay Area Boggs and Company. He is showing no signs of slowing down. And again, the question is, when do you come down pit road, if at all?
Sorry, my mic was off.
Oh,
yeah,
you're good.
I think it's any moment now. I think he's probably going to maybe try to get to lap 30.
Yeah, there's Cleveland on pit road.
But you're going to start seeing guys come in. Yeah, Matt Rucci actually came down for pits, I believe.
Matt Rucci did? Yep.
Same with Joel Brown and Nick Sargent. If I'm Osborne, if I'm holding this pace right now, and the car still feels good, yeah, I'm going to stretch it as far as I can go on these tires.
What's the fuel window? Do you know, Ryan?
I don't know. I don't know.
Man, Rucci is really putting it down right now. Now he's got those fresh tires. But this is the thing, you live, you learn. You don't want to make that second mistake, You don't want to burn everything up early again and then just have to deal with that at the end of the race. And there's a lot of racing to go still.
Looks like 59 cars in pits now as well. I believe. There he is.
Ryan Steinhoff, 4 tires and a full tank of Sunoco digital racing fuel. He is down and away in the Ace Pool Repair Chevrolet Camaro. He will get back on track. Currently being scored.
Ooh, Joel Brown.
As Joel Brown almost puts a brown spot in his driving suit there.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Coming off that corner right there on old tires like that. Well, no, Joel's already been down on pit road, right?
Yeah, Joel's 2 laps on those tires, so he's actually going to show a little bit more pace than Steinhoff right now. Because Steinhoff's on cold tires, so.
Well, see, I'm following the leaders for a reason. I was waiting for the drama of them coming down pit road, but they're taking forever to do it.
Top 4 still having pit.
I'm getting word in my headset now. The estimated fuel window on these are 38 laps.
Okay.
So in theory, you could run another 5 to 8 laps on these tires and not have to come down pit road and just save your stickers for the last 12 laps of the race. Not that I would want to, but you could.
Wes Graham on pit road. Or he's getting tired. Yeah, there he goes. He's 4th place, so he's going to be the first of the top 4 to get fresh tires. And I imagine we're going to see the next guys getting their tires soon, because I'm just impressed they're able to keep it straight on 29.
I'm impressed with the pit road times they're getting. I mean, they're getting on pit road and off pit road real fast.
It's a short pit road.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's tiny.
All right, so those guys are coming down. The 80's got to be doing it soon.
If I'm the 80 right now, I've got 10 seconds on him. I've got almost I've got half a track on Rucci and Graham. I'm under no pressure right now. If I'm Osborne, the only thing I'm doing is asking my spotter, where is Bay Area Bugs? Where is he on the track? And when am I going to make the move? As he now comes down pit road as soon as I say that.
Yep, and I expect to see 81 and the 25 car following suit. They're going to hear the leaders pitting, and they're going to be coming down as well.
Nope. Brandon Bugg's going to stay out.
I like it.
Yep, and now just give it hell. You know, hope that 80 makes a mistake on pit road, which it doesn't look like he did. It's a pretty solid stop there for him. He's going up on the left side now. Oh, he's in there for a while. All right, now he's on his way. And there's Dylan Macedo making his stop.
Macedo now coming down pit road to the attention of his crew. Will be 4 digital Goodyear racing tires, a full tank of Sunoco digital racing fuel, and he will be down and away. Looks like it's a little bit longer stop for him. Not exactly what you want to see if you're the driver of the 25. You are eager to get up, down, and on your way. Bug's still your leader.
Watch that timing screen on your left there, viewers, because you're going to see that time drastically fall. As I can't imagine Bug staying out for too much longer than this.
No, he's got to come down pit road this time, and he has got to be perfect. That's the red Mahindra Ford Mustang in the background right there. You've got to nail this.
15-second difference between Bugs and Osborne, and that difference is slowly starting to close down. Osborne showing how much faster he can be on those tires. Bugs now you're right. He doesn't have a choice. He has to come down pit road. He can't wait any longer, because if he does, those old tires are going to betray him, and they're going to betray him quick.
He's going to stay out.
Wow.
I don't think that was the call. I think he should have came down pit road that time, because, you know, on older tire. Actually, maybe he just wants to continue that, and maybe in his mind,
he wants to slow him up.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I know the 80's going to be really tearing through his stuff right now.
I think he's going to try and slow him up. He knows that you can't pass on this course easily. He's going to make his car as wide as possible. He's going to try and get Osborne's pace down and keep him behind him coming into pit road. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to just create a roadblock for Osborne. Man, this is actually a really good strategy. This is a cool strategy by Bugs. I like to see it.
Yes, that is right there.
And he may be able to do it. Osborne is still picking up time on him. He's picked up about 1.5 seconds on Bugs that entire time around now as they go into the keyhole, I believe, that long straight stretch, go and turn back around. Bugs, it's a very interesting move. It's a strong idea, and he's got a chance. He's got about 3 to 5 laps left on fuel, you know, so he can make it work. The question is, will it work to his advantage?
Real quick, as we're still watching Bugs here, Macedo able to make the pass on Wes Graham. Macedo up to 4th place.
And he made it. So there you go.
Yeah, great pass by Macedo. But the question remains, when will that 81 come down pit road?
It's not going to be this time.
How is he driving?
I think he's gonna. I don't know, but he's holding pace. Like I thought that Osborne would be eating him alive right now, up to like 8-7 seconds, but he's holding him at bay. Literally,
this is like a Red Bull F1 strategy of like, I got nothing to lose. The only chance I got out of the win is to try to get creative with the pit stops.
Right.
And kudos to him. I love it.
And it's awesome to see it, because you know his confidence in pit road strategy and making calls on pit road is just not there. But you don't, like you said, you have nothing to lose here. It's fantastic to see it.
It's fun to watch, absolutely. But the question is, you know, now Osborne is less than 10 seconds away. He has made up about 4 seconds in 3 laps. So now you have to ask yourself, what am I gaining by staying out? Because even if he catches up to Osborne and forces him to slow up a little bit, he's still got to go down pit road. He's got to get the tires. He's got to get the fuel. 15 seconds plus or minus, and then what? In the best case scenario, he's 5 seconds behind. It's a challenge. But the worst case scenario, he'll have a lot of time to make up.
Well, he's already starting to pull away again. He got slowed up by Tony Wilson there, and he didn't want to get in the back end of him, so he lost a little bit of time there. But right now, the 81 is starting to pull away a little bit. by at least a second here. He's going to stretch it out here on the straightaway. You'll see. He'll get back up almost to 10 seconds. Well, maybe not.
He's still staying out.
He's staying out. Oh, you said 38
Osborne,
laps on fuel was the window?
Yeah, that's what Matt Guzzi was saying.
Oh,
in the
okay.
chat there.
There you go. So yeah, I mean he has fuel in the car. There's the red car in the background right there. He's starting to show his way.
Yeah, you can see that time, the interval dropping quickly. I'm actually impressed. I thought Osborne would have caught up to Bugs in 3 laps, but yeah, that is not the case. Look at the lap times here. Osborne is about 3 seconds, no, about 2 seconds faster than Bugs per lap, which isn't crazy considering he's on fresh tires and Bugs is on 33 lapped tires. Like, that's insane.
So when Bugs does come down pit road, let's assume it's 20 seconds on and off. That's getting in, getting service, and getting out. As it stands right now, he would still be behind Osborne by about, 14, 15 seconds? Can he make up that time with what's left? In 15 laps, can he make up that time on the newer tires underneath him?
Yeah, you're right, Joe. That's the question. Like, is it too little? Here he comes. Yeah, he's gonna have to put some work in. This has got to be perfect. This is a sketchy pit road. Nicely done. Let's see if he can hit his pit stop.
Osborne officially makes the pass this time by Bay Area Bugs into his box. Will he hit it perfectly? Slides in. It is no. He overshoots it. He overshoots it. And that's going to cost him time, big time out there, as he goes to the 4 digital tires and a full tank of Sunoco racing fuel.
Wasn't too bad. That could have been a lot worse. I think it was going to cost him maybe a couple seconds there. Not the end of the world, but he's going to be having to deal with some fast cars here, and he's going to have to try and manage his way around them. And
well, now he's going to have the freshest tires out of everybody at the end of this race. And that's
where it counts.
The
end.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great news, but he's still 20. He's now, because he overshot his pit stall, he's 22 seconds behind, and he's got 3 other cars to fight off. 4 cars if you can count Osborne. He's got to get around West Lemess, which he's already on his back bumper now. He's got to get around Macedo, and of course, that Rucci bot.
Bugs just got to be a little patient here. Those tires are cold. Don't push it too hard too early here, because he could ruin his chances. But he's going to dart to the inside here. Now to the outside of Graham. Graham knows he got pace, man. I'm pretty sure Graham going to let him out of the way there.
Yeah. And you see Graham is taking it. Look at that. That's interesting. He was running second gear through there. He's still taking it easy on his tires.
But one thing that Bugs has against all these other drivers is he does not have to take it easy. Like, he can go full tilt all the way to the end, where these guys are starting to think about tire management. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be quite the feat if he can make it back up to second place.
I believe that's 89 on pit road, and Austin Johnson as well. So James Hilton, not pit road. He did the same thing. He waited a really long time till the end.
Or is that his second stop? I don't know. I thought he might have come in earlier.
I thought originally that was the case, but I think he got lapped.
That is his second stop.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. In any event, Osborne continues to lead over the field. 16 seconds on Rucci, 19 seconds on Macedo, and 21 seconds on Bay Area Bugs. But he is making up the time quick as they go through the S's down Thunder Alley. He is going to drive like a honey badger coked up on methamphetamines to win this race. But if anyone can do it, it's Brandon Bugs.
Yeah, he's just really good at road courses, and I know he's really excited about this race in particular. And, seeing the strategy call that they made, made a little bit of a flub there on pit road, but there's still a lot of racing to go, and anybody can make a mistake, and the Eddie's is not invincible.
Yeah, this is getting interesting, but great drive by all these drivers, even like in the midfield. You got Joel Brown and Nick Sargent holding their own down in 7th and 8th. Jason Lance, Robert Keller battling out right now. Robert Keller able to make the pass on Jason Lance for 9th place. So there's some good battles brewing in the midfield too. As you see a ton of cars there off of turn 1 coming down to turn 2.
Yeah, that's Matt Rucci there blazing through the field there, and that is going to be Brandon Buggs as well doing the same thing. Dealing with all these slower cars here. But yeah, I mean, we can't explain it any more than, I mean, I just can't stress it enough. This is so difficult to do. Driving this heavy stock car around a track like Mid-Ohio is so difficult. So when you see somebody like Osborne and you see Brandon Buggs doing this lap after lap in a great way and not making mistakes, it is so incredibly hard to do. You can't be like, there's no talent involved in this just because it's digital, you know, sim racing. No, there's a lot of talent involved, and you're seeing it here.
No, this is impeccable car control. Now, Buggs' favorite person, he's already passed Steinhoff. He was stuck behind Steinhoff on Monday night. He's now behind Macedo. He is going to need to get around Macedo quickly because he has to gain over a second, well over a second, a lap to catch Osborne, and he's just not doing it right now. He's still staying about 20 seconds behind Osborne, so he's got to get around Macedo here. And
yeah, he's got to get aggressive with Macedo. I mean, even if he gets to his back bumper and gives him a little bit of a shove, I mean, he's got speed on him. So I think the 25 knows he's coming. He'll probably move if it gets to that.
I don't think he will. He is doing everything he can to make that back bumper as wide as humanly possible, putting new definition to high, wide, and handsome. Then, of course, they've got Bearder in front of him, he'll probably get out of the way when push comes to shove, but I guarantee you Macedo does not want to give up any real estate. And now he's using Bearder as a pick to help him keep Bay Area Buggs at bay.
Yeah, no, Macedo's not giving him a pass. No, absolutely. Macedo's in 3rd place. I want podium, man.
Yeah,
Screw
yeah.
you. I'm not letting you by.
And you know, and the more they fight behind each other and beside each other, the better that works for Osborne, because now Buggs is using up those tires underneath him. He's grilling them with about 4 laps to go, 3.5 or some change. So the more that he keeps him behind, that Macedo keeps Buggs behind him, the better it is for Osborne, because now Buggs has to work even harder with less resources to try to win the race. Possible sticks in the air next time around. We're around 38 of 50.
We got looking right here, and I'm watching the 81. He's got the fastest car on the track, and we knew that was going to be the case, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. It's a 129.226. That last one now 130.227 to the 235 of Brandon Osborne, but that last lap before there was quite considerably faster.
I can I'm watching the way Buggs is driving. I know he's getting pissed off right now. He's going, I know he's yelling, get the bleep out of my way. He was yelling that at Steinhoff the other night, not actually at him, but to me in the call. And I know he's getting frustrated right now. And that's the shitty part about this track is it is so hard to pass. And you can see he's got pace. He just can't find a safe way to do it right now.
Yeah, and that's the 28 of Rucci right there in front.
And what I was going to say is you have very limited areas to pass on this track. You know, it's not a wide D-oval. It's not a fast super speedway. You go from areas where you can get a run and make a pass to very narrow spots where you just don't have that liberty. So now, you know, anytime he's getting a run, the 25 Macedo's right there in front of him. I am genuinely surprised that Buggs has not given him the chrome horn to let him know, hey, I'm here and I'm faster. Get out of my way.
I think what the 81, the best chance the 81 has is to set up these last corners here to get a really good run out of the corner. So he has some straight line speed. That's going to be his best opportunity to pass Macedo, is just setting up the corner perfectly and then trying to pass him either headed into the keyhole or out of the keyhole.
Yeah, they're starting to reel it in a little bit there, but I mean, 18 seconds is a lot. But it's not like it would be if you were watching, you know, a normal oval track that we normally see. 18 seconds there would be insane, but you can lose and you can gain so much on a road course so quickly by your mistakes that you can't just be like, hey, 18 seconds, I'm never going to make it up there at all. That's not the case.
11 laps to go when Osborne catches start finish line. Here he makes a move. He makes the move down low. Can Bugs get the pass on Macedo? You're watching from the back bumper as Bugs makes the move, not able to get the run.
He's trying the crossover right now. He's on the outside of him. He is trying everything he can. He's going to the inside. This might do it right here. What a pass.
He got it done.
He does it.
Sorry, I was like freaking out. I was like, I'm looking at the timing screen. I'm like, okay, I'm going back up, and I'm trying to find the camera change. And then the camera that it gave me, I was not happy with, but that's all right. That happens.
But he made the pass. That's what matters. Bugs now finally able to get around him. So now he's got a second to catch up to Rucci. And once he does that, if he's able to get around the Rucci bot, he's got to drive it for all it's worth. He's got to drive the wheels off that car to catch up to Osborne.
And Osborne's on the other side of that entire section of the track.
Yeah, he's on an island right now. Osborne's in the best case scenario. I think, realistically, I think Bugs is just hoping to get a P2. I think time's run out. Unfortunately, just being stuck behind Macedo for that long. I don't think there's a chance he can catch Osborne at this point.
That's why I really wish we had full course cautions, because we would have had a couple of those. I would have changed some things up, but I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is, as they say. And 17 seconds, 17 seconds divided by 10 laps when Osborne takes the start finish line this time around, that is what, about 2 seconds a lap, plus or minus?
I believe so.
I don't know I think he's going to do everything he can to make it up, to try it. If he can get around Rucci this time around, he is slowly starting to reel him in. About 0.8 of a second between those two cars, but he's really got to get. Rucci has to make a big mistake for Bugs to capitalize on, and even then, I know Bugs will make the run for it, but I might be too little too late.
I was watching the 28 right there. He got in the grass and got slowed up quite a bit, so he just lost a bunch of time by doing that. And right when you said he would have to make a mistake, that's whenever he actually did.
Oh, he's so squirrely right now.
Oh, yeah. And we know how he's been driving on these older tires, so this has not been his favorite track. You can just tell. And that's the thing. You talk about, the 81 getting upset with cars in front of him. Oh, the 20, it's just as equally frustrating when you're frustrated with the car and track combo, and then you have somebody breathing down your neck for second.
Yep. 81 car showing about 1 second faster than the leader right now. But that's got to be he's got to get 2 seconds faster than the leader. Brandon Osborne putting down some banger laps right now.
Yeah, and he'd have to get around the 28. I mean, in the next lap at least. And then hope for, something to happen to the 80. But you know what? I mean, we're sitting here talking about that, but what can we say? The 80 car, the 8 of Tyler Thomas there having issues, was stuck in the sand there. He is in 15th right now after starting 15th, so hasn't been the night for him.
TT hasn't figured out this track. He was having problems on Monday night as well, but I'm glad he's out here, and he's still racing too. He hasn't parked the car, so good job, Tyler.
Yeah,
love to see it.
Staying out of the way, not causing any crashes or anything with anybody else. That's nothing wrong with that. It's learning, and that's the thing. It takes actual time in the sim for you to get better. And but going back to what I was saying, the 80. I mean, talk about that momentum of winning last week's race. This will be, he's trying to get his third win this season here and show, that hey, I have something for Rucci. You got Osborne winning at Bristol, and then he won at Iowa, and then he's trying to get a road course win tonight. So if he gets that done, I don't know. Even with the drop weeks, I think Rucci might be in for a surprise. We still have a lot of racing to go in the season.
Plenty of racing still on paper. We've got 4 races left in the season, and if Osborne can make it 2 for 2, one at the Crazy Egg, that is Iowa, and now at the Monster, that is Mid-Ohio, that's going to boost his morale incredibly going into the last 4 seasons of this series. He could easily walk away with a championship. He could walk away with a lot of accolades to him. And sometimes, you know, having the right attitude and having your head in the right space is 90% of the challenge. The rest of it is just leaning on raw talent and a little pinch of luck.
Jeff, you're gonna want to go back to that 28 car. They're having a heck of a battle right now. He's trying.
Oh yeah,
he is all over his bumper.
Yeah, and we were talking about that. He had no more time to mess around with, and there he is, right there on the back bumper of Rucci, and we're gonna keep an eye on it right now.
Yeah,
looking at the back of the 28.
He almost had an opportunity to pass there. Sorry, I was just biting my nails because it was getting pretty dicey between these two drivers. So,
well, he's out of time. He's got to do it now.
Yep.
Alternating between 4 and 5/10 of a second are Rucci and Bugs. And Bugs, I think he knows where he can pass. He knows where he can make the pass safely. He is just waiting for the Badger Racing Chevrolet to make that mistake, to make that critical error in one of those spots as they come down past the keyhole through the big dog leg into turn number 3. He might even be able to use that Union Pacific Ford of Aviator Alex Reno as a pick to get around the 28.
He's doing that right now. Oh.
Yeah, it's the 22's holding up the 28 so much. This is exactly what the 81 wanted, and he's going to use it. Oh, he's getting so close to it.
Oh, my God.
They're side by side.
Coming around China Beach, the 28 and 81 side by side, almost sideswiping one another into the S's. Can Brandon Bugs make the move?
Oh, Rucci closing the door there a bit. Oh man, what incredible racing. He doesn't have the traction to do it, to make that pass, but he's all over his bumper.
I think that was going to move him, if anything.
I mean, I don't think Bugs would do that. He's a clean racer. I don't think he's out here to do that.
No, I know.
Down Thunder Alley now towards the carousel. The 28 and 81 still side by side. The carousel is arguably the last chance he'll have this lap to make the pass. So about 6 laps to go, plus or minus. And Bugs still trying to make the run on Rucci. Not able to do it in the carousel. Let's see if he can set it up for the keyhole.
That was Tyler Thomas there at the bottom of the track that was stopped. And if we had full course cautions, that would have been a caution there, but we do not. So that would have been interesting. That would have ended everything up there in the front.
It's going to get real dicey here. This is where Bugs excels in these tight corners here. And he's all over that rear bumper. He is trying to find any way to pass the 28 car. Outside, inside, just trying to stick his nose in where he can. And he's all over the back of him. He just can't find a way to do it.
Right now, Ryan is doing everything he can. He's clutching. Oh. He's clutching those bells, fish, arrowheads, clovers, rainbows, shooting stars, clutching all those lucky charms, trying to get around him, trying to look for the opening.
Man, you couldn't fit anything in between those two. They were so close together. I mean, and talk about, just respectful racing. You're seeing it there. There's times these guys could have just easily, bumped right into each other. And they have chosen to not race that way. But all that side-by-side racing's brought the 25 up into the picture.
I was going to say player 3 has entered the ring. Man. And Bugs losing a lot of ground there on Rucci as they head down to the keyhole. And he's good. Oh, I think he's drove so aggressively, he's just burned his stuff up. You can see he's getting real loose as he makes his way down the straight here. This is we'll see what happens. But like you said, Jeff, there is not much time left. Something's got to give.
6 laps to go at this juncture as they come through the S's. I believe that's the S's now. They come through, and Rucci's just done everything he can to the benefit of Osborne. That window is closing rapidly. 18 seconds Osborne has over Rucci, 19 seconds over Bugs. This is now Osborne's race to lose, guys. At this juncture, it's Osborne who has everything to lose. If he makes one lapse, if he makes one error off track, that would open the window. But right now, all he's got to do is keep it cruise control, keep it going in the right direction for the next 5 laps, and that Mahindra tractor's Ford Mustang is going back to victory lane.
Yep. Osborne being absolutely clinical out here in mid-Ohio with his performance. And you're right, Joe. It is his race to lose.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about, the performance of the 80th, because that's going to shake things up. And now Rucci used those drop weeks. He's going to have to run like hell these last few races to win the championship. And if you get 3 wins and you can't contend for the championship, I think then there's the problem.
It just really sucks that Rucci's such a nice guy. Otherwise, we would just boot him from the league because he's just too good. He's outperforming everybody, but he's such a nice guy and we really like him. So I guess he's going to stay.
But you know what? You need somebody like that. It pushes the rest of the group to get better, to find out how they can beat him. And you may think that Rucci wins every single race, but look right here, that's not the case.
Oh, he has absolutely elevated the league in terms of everybody. Like he's literally raising the bar that everybody else has to get to. It makes you better. You don't improve by just lapping cars and just comfortably winning races. You need that to fight that adversity and actually battle someone that is better than you.
The 81 hasn't given up yet. I mean, he's squirrely as can be, but man, this has been impressive.
Personally, guys, I love the battle so much. I'm just happy to stay in the air conditioning of the broadcast booth and let everyone else have fun.
In my wonderful bedroom in Tampa, Florida. Not a broadcast booth at all, but yes.
I'm in my basement and I'm not wearing pants. So
I'm wearing the pajama pants, the classic, the YouTuber special.
Yeah, I'm wearing the. I got sweatpants, so I guess you could.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
They're so comfortable. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
What are these pants you guys speak of? I haven't left my house in months. This is like the socialist. This is like the extent of my socialization anymore. All I do is write. So,
Man, the 28 really is starting to, we saw it last time in that last stint. It was right around this time. The 28 was just really wildly loose. And now he's having that happen again.
Yep. The 81's just got to stay in his mirror. Just keep putting pressure on him. And Rucci has fell into a groove here a bit. He's figuring out the car as the race has gone on, but he's just got to keep the pressure on him, try and force a mistake like what happened on, what was that, lap 12, 13, something like that?
Yeah. And it sucks when you're in this position because you don't want to be a dirty racer and you get so close to somebody's back bumper and you're actually like having to lift out of the throttle a couple times so you don't run them over. You're trying to outbrake them without wrecking them. That's the biggest thing about talent on a road course, is not wrecking the guy in front of you, because you have plenty of opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and the 81 has shown insane car control by being right on his bumper and not wrecking him. Most drivers would have gone into the back of Rucci many laps ago accidentally and punted him. So the fact that 81 hasn't and is still running this close is impressive.
Well, it also speaks to the character of Bay Area Bugs. We all know that despite his rough exterior, the tattoos, the arguable prison time, I don't know, he's a smart man, he's a good driver, and he's always a professional online and offline, as now Macedo wants to challenge Bay Area Bugs, but I don't think he's going to get a magically delicious piece of that Toyota Supra in front of him.
I know this broadcast has been us just be like, oh, Bugs is so good. Oh, we're watching Bugs. And
this is where the action is.
This is where the action's been. This is where the most interesting storyline has developed with this race. So Yeah, we're not trying to be biased towards anybody, but that's just what has happened in this race. It is the storyline.
I'm not trying to shadow anything that 80 car is doing, because what Brandon Osborne has done today has been absolutely incredible. And when you put on a clinic like this, especially on the 28, you can't do anything but applaud it.
Osborne now 18.4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field as he gets the popsicle sticks. 2 to go at this juncture. And what can you say about that Mahindra Tractor's Ford Mustang? He has just been on a tear all night long. He has just been putting a clinic out here on everybody else. On the other 6 cars on the lead lap that remain.
Oh my God, he made a mistake.
The error is made. The error is made.
Wow.
He's got time. He's got time.
He's got time. Gather it right back up. Back to Matt Rucci, which is right here. This is what Rucci needed. But wow, we've been talking about it the whole time. And you know, you can't beat yourself up at this point. Like, he's done such a great job that if he starts beating himself up, he's gonna get in his head and really, really start to make some mistakes here. So he's got to calm down, get that heart rate back where it needs to be, and he'll be okay here.
Guys, as that was developing, Macedo almost made a pass on the 81 car. He was all over his bumper, tried to look up to the inside, didn't make it happen. Macedo showing some late race pace right now on the 81. So all types of stuff happening. The 80 looks a little shaken right now. He's slowing down.
He's now playing it a little more cautious, trying to take advantage of that 13-second lead as he takes the white flag this time around. One more lap around the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for Osborne. Will he make it without any errors? Shades of Iowa from last week now haunting the thoughts of Osborne as we go to the white one to go, sponsored by Thrustmaster.
You know, I was going to say earlier, because you were talking about the popsicle sticks a couple times. I thought you were having crafts time over there.
I gotta do something.
You have one popsicle stick in the air now, right?
Well, no. Well, the popsicle sticks are the 2 flags, letting them know there's 2 to go, and then the white flag is 1 to go.
There you go.
So now there are no popsicle sticks.
Oh, you put them all away. No more crafts.
It's about that time.
I eat my ice cream with a spoon, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Popsicles are ice cream? I guess so.
Frozen treats.
Frozen treats. I like that much better. Yes.
Osborne playing it smart as he goes around China Beach into the S's, being a lot more cautious on the track, enjoying that 13-second lead. Around here was where he made that critical error through China Beach. Can he stick it this time around, and can he save what has just been an incredible show? So far, checkered flag in the air. It will be Osborne, assuming he gets around the carousel without any issues.
Here comes the 80 of Osborne, and man, talk about a race right there. Osborne, your winner at Mid-Ohio.
Rucci and Bugs making their way towards the finish line now, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. Rucci with P2 and Bugs with P3.
Macedo will take position number 4. Wes Graham will take position number 5. Steinhoff Brown, your last 2 cars on the lead lap. Sargent, Lance, Wilson, Kellert, and Cleveland all finished 1 lap down. Hilton and Reno finished 2 laps down. Thomas, Johnson, Webb, and Guzman call it an early night, rounding out your field of 18 tonight.
Man, I'll tell you what, for a road course race, this was not a snoozer.
No, that was an incredible race, and hats off to all the drivers out here for. And I don't know what the incident points were, but it says 0 on our end, so I'm gonna go. Hey, everyone got 0 incident points. Good job, everybody.
I don't think that was the case, and I think even the 80 had a little bit of that. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It could have been so much worse if Osborne would have been off track. You know, hit the sand the way he did, and he hit the inside tire barriers at that speed. That can just absolutely stop you in your tracks, and with all that, you know, that damage there. And that didn't happen. So I mean, he did. You could see him just like keeping it straight, like okay, let's get out of this, because that was the worst place to go off in the track.
Yeah, he showed a ton of composure there. He knew he had a really good lead. Just say, hey, just gather it up. Be careful getting on the track and just keep going. And he did just that. A lot of composure shown. and able to keep hold of that lead. Osborne, your winner at Mid-Ohio.
Burn them down, buddy.
2 for 2 as the Mahindra Tractor's Ford Mustang plows that front stretch as best he can. Big momentum for Brandon Osborne. Now the question is, what happens to the next 4 races? You know, this is a big boost for him, big boost for his team, and it's really going to shake everything up as we get ready to close down the season.
Oh, he's having a lot of fun right now, and he definitely should. I mean, especially after everything that happened there towards the end. But, man, I mean, almost a 20-second gap on the field. That's smart driving, and that's smart pit road strategy. All right, we're going to back it up here. We'll get your unofficial results, and we'll get into some drivers' interviews. We could talk to everyone that you saw here tonight and how their night went. Well, it was definitely an interesting one. That is for certain. Awesome to see it. Race results right here. So there you go. Rounding out the top 10, Brandon Osborne, Matt Rucci, Brandon Buggs, Dylan Macedo, Wes Graham, Ryan Steinhoff, Joel Brown, Nick Sargent, and Jason Lance. And rounding out top 10, how about that? Tony Wilson started 17th and ends up 10th. Stick around. We'll be right back with some driver interviews. All right, and we are going to catch up to the race winner. Osborne, what a hell of a race for you. This is your 3rd win of the season, and now you're starting to get yourself closer to Rucci's level as far as it goes with the standings right now and the points. Tell us about that those last couple laps, that last blunder there, and how you're able to get over it and get the win.
Yeah, this Mahindra Tractor's Ford Mustang was really solid. Tuned in a couple things on it and spent some time here after an abysmal run a couple weeks ago at the Roval. So really wanted to make sure we came out strong here, and I'm just trying to keep my head in it, the full 50 laps and push an hour and a half of race time. It's quite a lot, and so it's hard to stay mentally in the zone for me. So I gotta focus with myself and work on that myself, and so just a little missed the braking zone by a couple feet, and that's the worst corner to lose it. So luckily we built up a good cushion, and we're able to stay out front.
Fantastic. Well, it was definitely fun to watch, especially whenever everything happened there towards the end. The next person I wanted to talk to is Jason Lance. You started 12th. You're in the top 10 tonight. Not so bad. And what happened to the Icy Bear?
I thought I was just kind of having bad luck at my finishes, so I've tried to change over to my snap-on car, which I'll do much better at the oval tracks. I'm not much of a road racer, but my season has been going good. I just haven't been. My finishes just haven't reflected on how good I've been running. I've just been running good, but finishing kind of, I don't have like one top 5 this season. So, yeah, I just gotta do better work on my consistency.
Well, talk about consistency. A road course will definitely show you that. But starting 12th and ended up top 10, that's a win in my book. Last person I want to talk to is Tony Wilson, starting 17th. And you clawed your way up into the top 10. I know that it's 17th isn't what you wanted there in the beginning of the race, but tell us how it went.
Well, if I'm being honest, I kind of screwed my whole agenda up tonight. My plan was to do the old, pit start at the back, stay invisible, don't get involved, because I'm normally running race control and I didn't want to mess up anybody's race. But once we got past halfway, it was like it's time to go race now. I threw all the sit back and wait. I threw that out the window and just started racing, and was managed to pull out a top 10. So I'm pretty happy.
There you go. Started 17th, ends up in 10th, bringing the confidence in the second half of the race. I'm going to send it over to you, Ryan.
Oh, it's my turn. My mic was muted. Okay. Well, I want to talk to our podium guys. Let's talk to Mr. Matt Rucci. Now, Mr. Matt Rucci, we saw a little sketchiness out of you. A couple mistakes there in the first half of that race, but it seems like you were able to gather that car up in the latter half there and able to hold off Bay Area Bugs. Tell us about your race, man.
Yeah, I struggled a bit in the first half. I really burnt up the rears, so every corner on the exit I was just really loose. So I had to pit early. I was the first one to pit out of the top 5 guys, so I knew I was going to come out ahead of them, but they were going to run me down like they did. So the second half, I just had to hold my spot and race them as clean as I can, but try to keep that position, which we were able to do. Me and Bugs, we raced clean there at the end. May have cut them off a little bit there, but it's part of it. But it was good fun racing. I enjoyed it.
Well, congrats on the P2, Matt Rucci, and good job on figuring your car out for the second half of that race. Now, we were following your battle with Bay Area Bugs very closely. That was some insane racing. Now, Bugs, if I was in a call with you, I'd know what you were saying, sticking behind Matt Rucci there. How enticing was that kill button looking on your steering wheel there?
It was. I thought about it for a second, but it wasn't the way I wanted to go. I stayed out longer than everybody else. I knew we could do 35 laps on a tank, so I wanted to make sure I had the freshest tires at the second half of that race, and my times were still looking pretty good. So I decided to extend it a little bit, got fresh tires, came out in 5th, which I wasn't really expecting to be that far back. Luckily could climb my way up, caught up to Dylan, and then me and him had a pretty good battle. It's just, you can get runs on this track, but it's very difficult to pass. Had to give Dylan a little bit of the bumper to kind of manipulate him out of the way there, so sorry about that, but was able to make a pass on him and got up to Rucci, and I could tell I had pace on him. I wanted to pass him clean, and there was no way to do it. He would make a mistake, I'd make a mistake, I'd stick my nose in, we would go too wide, car would get loose. So I did everything I could to try to get that second place, but I appreciate the racing we had there at the end. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. You guys put on a hell of a show, and congrats on a podium for you in Mid-Ohio. And Joe, I'll turn it over to you. Who do you want to talk to?
I want to talk to the man, the myth, the legend, the driver of the Wesico 88 machine. That's Wes MS, Wes Graham. Started 6th, finished 5th. Was the car what you expected tonight, Wes?
It was 100 times better than what I expected. Just telling my peoples before the drop of the green flag, I said anything over a P9 is a win in my book. And, to be able to pull off a top 5 here was rather unexpected. I'll put it that way, because my road course game has just been lacking, and I think I've pulled off 2 top 5s this season. So very happy with the result. Very happy with the guys out there, the lappers, to moving out the way for the lead lap cars, and all the room that was given out there. See the incident limit only bit a couple of people. So overall, great race, fantastic 50 laps. Let's go again.
You say that so casually, even though I know you were dreading this race ahead of time. Walk me through your pit strategy. When did you decide to come down pit road, and how did that ultimately influence your finish?
So at the start of the race, I was like, let's just split it down the middle, come in on 25, heading on to 26, and split it right down the middle. But when Dylan stayed out, because me, Dylan, and Rucci there towards the end of that run, we're having a pretty good battle there. Rucci just fell off, and we were able to get around him. And then Dylan just kept staying out. And I was like, okay, well, it got to lap 28, and I saw where the 59 car, Steinhoff, he pit behind me. And I was like, well, I got to come in this time, because fortunately, broadcasting the Monday night race showed me just how important being early on those tires is. So although I feel like it was a completely different race from Monday night, you can still see some of the trends from what transpired. So I was like, yep, let's just come on in, get the 4 fresh field goods, and get back on out there and just coast around. And the other guys just they managed their tires a lot better on that second half of the run. I was just out there for a good old Thursday night drive.
Wes Graham finishing 5th tonight in that Wessico Chevrolet. Jeff, I think that does it for interviews.
All right, fantastic. We'll let you guys get to your drivers' meeting. Thank you, as always. Fantastic show.
Thank you, other broadcast.
All right, we'll just wait for Joe to get back down here once again. I think we had, yep, there he is right there. Fantastic. So, wow. There you heard it right there from everybody tonight. I enjoyed this one. It was better than what I thought it would be.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be way more wrecks and way more brouhahas happening, but that was just incredible driving by everybody in the field. They all did a really good job. That was a lot of fun, you guys.
Well, I do want to point you towards the schedule. So we're at Mid-Ohio tonight, finished out here on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, and then we go to Las Vegas Motor Speedway next week before Richmond, and then finishing it all out in Miami at Homestead Speedway for the championship race, and we'll crown a champion on April 7th. So these seasons are are shorter than a NASCAR season or what have you. But man, it's been an up and down season so far, that I can tell you.
But what a fun season it's been so far. These 13 races have not disappointed. These guys are having a ton of fun on the field. They're really giving it all, and you're watching the maturity of a ton of drivers who have effectively grown up in the sim together and are now really being able to put their skills out there and test one another on the track. These final 3 races at 3 very different tracks. You've got the traditional tri-oval at Vegas, you've got the short track at Richmond, and then you've got the perfect oval at Homestead, the perfect flat oval, I should say, at Homestead. Guys, these are going to be 3 really fun races to crown season 9 champion.
Well, we will go ahead and put that one away, and want to say a big thanks to Mr. Cortez for joining myself and Civ Ryan for the broadcast here tonight. We'll see you next week. We'll be out on the West Coast. Well, kind of, but in the desert in Las Vegas. That'll do it for us. We'll see you next week. Stand by for raid.